In this video, I'm going to show you how to upload your data into Databricks platform in a few different ways. But before we dive in, I will quickly explain you what is Databricks and what is it used for. Databricks is a unified platform for data, analytics and AI. There is a lot of things you can use it for. You can build your data warehouse, run ETL jobs, analyze and visualize your data, or even train AI models on it, and then build APIs on top of it. And it all is scalable out of the box. And in this video, I want to start with the basics. We will learn how to get your data into Databricks. And let's start with the easiest way. So the most straightforward way to upload your data is just to do it manually using the file from your local computer. And in this video, we are going to use the Databricks free version, free edition. And if you don't have an account, just go to the Databricks website and create one. So here we are in the homepage of Databricks, and if that's your first time when you open Databricks, it can be slightly confusing. But don't worry, I will explain everything just now. So first, go to the catalog, and in the catalog you will see your workspace. This is the default workspace that is created for you when you create your account. And in this workspace we have schemas, and in the schema we also have different things such as tables, volumes, models and functions. So in order to upload your data, you need a volume, and you need to create one if you don't have it yet. So just click this button create, and you'll see this drop down. Select the volume, give it a name, whatever name you want. For example, I'll call it, I don't know, YouTube. And you can do it a managed volume if you want it to be managed by the Databricks, or external volume if you want, let's say, to use your S3 bucket. Let's do managed volume first, and let's create it. So now you've got your volume, and you can choose it here, and you will see this button in the top right corner where it says upload to this volume. So just click this button and you will see a pretty standard pop-up that allows you to upload data from your local computer or drag and drop it. So I'm going to open my file system on my local computer, and I will just select any file I need, and then I can upload it. And so right now you see your CSV file here. You can select it, you can see what's inside, and you can start working with it. You can create a table from it or do whatever else you want. This is an easy way, but it's not always ideal. Sometimes you don't want to go through all these manual steps, like downloading the file from somewhere and then uploading it every time when data changes, especially if it changes quite often. And now I'm going to show you another way of getting your data into your Databricks instance, and I'm going to use the service called Kaggle that is like a GitHub but for data. We will connect to this service and we will get your data straight into Databricks. So let's start, and to start we need to create a notebook first. If you don't know what is the notebook, this is an interface that data analysts or data scientists use to play with their data, to work with it. So notebooks usually consist of the cells, and the cell is a place where you can run your code, usually a Python code, and you just need to create few cells, do something, and then run it in order to run your workflow, let's say. So we are going to use this notebook. Let's rename it, let's call it YouTube as well. We're going to use this notebook to download our data straight from Kaggle. And let's start. First of all, let's find a dataset that we want to download, and I want to download this one. This is the UK property prices with sale history. I want to download this dataset because I'm curious about the property prices dynamic, and I want to analyze it and, maybe to get some useful insights. And to download it programmatically, you would need to sign in, or if you don't have an account, you need to create an account. I'll just sign in. And after you sign in or create your account, you can click here on your profile picture and go to the settings. And then here in the settings, you need to create a new token. So just click this button and you'll see this notification that generating a new token will automatically expire any previous keys. Click continue, or if you don't want to continue, use your existing key. I'll click continue and it will download this JSON file for me, and in this JSON file you'll see something like this. You'll see your username and your key. Don't worry, I'm exposing my key because after I film this video I'm going to delete it, so don't try to use my API key for Kaggle. Create your own instead. Yes, I cannot hold you in my right hand because I need it for my video. Maybe you'll go here, go here. Oh, good bird, good bird. Yeah, so create your own API key and save it. You will need it in a minute. And then go back to your Databricks, and in our first cell we are going to install one library called Kaggle. Yeah, the same as the service where we're trying to get data from. So let's just install it. And we are using the PIP just like usually for Python, and let's run it. So you can see our library was installed successfully. Now let's add another cell, and in this cell we are going to define the path where we are going to download our files. And where we want to download it, let's go to our catalog, and you remember we just created this volume, so I'm going to copy this path to this volume and I'll paste it here. But I'm not going to just copy it to the root. I'm going to create a folder Kaggle, and to create this folder I'm going to call another function, database utils, file system, make dirs, and then pass download path there. And let's run it to see if it's all working fine. Yeah, so it returned true, and if you go here to the catalog and refresh it, you can see next to our file we also have this directory that is an empty directory at the moment. And now let's create a next cell. We are going to set up our credentials to connect to the Kaggle. So let's import OS, and then let's create environment variables. First one will be Kaggle username. You can you can upload your JSON and just get it from there, or in this case I'm just going to copy paste this, and second variable will be the Kaggle key. I'm also copy pasting it from here, and now let's just run it. And we will assign these variables, and in the next cell we will actually download our dataset. So here we will start with the exclamation mark, means we're going to call Kaggle, and then you can see that this AI autocomplete already suggests me the command. It's going to be Kaggle dataset download, then -d, and here we are going to paste the path to our dataset in the Kaggle. So it's just the username of the user and the name of the dataset. And then we will add -p, that means path, and we will add our download path here, and a flag unzip. Now let's try to run it and see if it worked. You can see it found the dataset, it downloaded it, and let's go to our folder and refresh it. And you can see our files are here, downloaded just now. And now you can add another cell here and read our data. You can create a new variable and use Spark to read the CSV. And again, it is suggesting me, AI suggesting me the code, and yeah, that's basically it. Just need to add the correct file name here, and then let's add show here, and let's see. It's gonna show us some data. So yeah, this is the little snippet of our data that we got from Kaggle just now. And now, every time when you want to do something with your data, you can just run it all and get the fresh data from the Kaggle without uploading or downloading or doing whatever manually. And the third and the last way I'm going to show you in this video is to upload your data from the S3 bucket. It can be useful if, let's say, you have a certain data pipeline in AWS that unloads your data to S3 bucket, and then you need to get it from there and do some stuff. If you're using a Databricks Pro, then you can also download your data from private buckets, but for the free edition there is a limitation. It only can download data from the public S3 bucket. So if you have your data in the S3, then make sure that your bucket is public, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So here it is my bucket that I created for this video. So go to the permissions and check this block public access setting. Now it is on, so you need to go and change it. You need to untick this bit and then type confirm. Yes. And one more thing you need to do, you need to go to the bucket policy as well and edit it. And I'm just going to copy paste it, but you can find it in the internet and copy paste as well, or you can check it out under the video in the description. I'll post this bit there. So just copy paste this policy and it will allow all the public read access from your S3 bucket. Yeah, don't forget to change this your bucket name to the name of your actual bucket and then save it. And now you should be able to access your files from Databricks. Now let's try it. And now let's add another new cell and let's create a new data frame. And again, using Spark, we are going to read our CSV file, but this time, instead of the local path, we are going to point it to an S3 bucket with a special S3 bucket protocol. It starts with S3A. Then we have our bucket name, that is Databricks tutorial. And then slash, and we can just put the file name we want to get. And again, AI suggests these options. And let's just run it. Let's see if it's gonna work. It took a little bit more time than before when we read it from the Databricks volume, but it still works. It displayed the 20 lines, 20 rows of our table, And yeah, so now you can do whatever you want. You can save it, or you can change it, you can clean your data, you can build the charts with it, or whatever you want to do. So that's it for today. I hope my video was useful for you, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And if you want to stay tuned, click this little bell button to get the notifications about the new videos. And see you again in the next video. Hello. Hello.